Hi everyone, it's SJ Bonner here, and I just wanted to say, firstly, thank you for tuning in, those of you who did, to our Christmas-themed, horror-themed evening last night. For those of you that did manage to watch it, I hope you enjoyed it. That was a self-written thing, so I'm quite proud of it. May have to run it for other people if they didn't see it. Anyway, I've been made aware that there were some issues with some of the audio. This is my fault entirely. Basically, my voice cut out a lot during moments, primarily when I was talking relatively calmly for relatively long periods of time. I couldn't figure out why for the longest time, and then it hit me. One of the players is my partner, and she was in another room, obviously playing. My microphone's quite powerful, so to make sure that it didn't pick her up, I put a noise gate on it, which, if a noise is below certain decibels, cuts it out. Apparently, when I get dramatic, when I have long periods of description, or I like to really emphasize what's going on, and I drop my voice, that takes it below the actual threshold for my noise gate, which meant that for certain periods of the talking, and most obviously at the very beginning when I had my description intro, and at the very end when St. Nicholas was rewarding the party for rescuing him from the curse of Krampus, he was giving them presents, and a lot of my viewers now have no idea what the presents were because my noise gate decided, hey, now'd be a perfect time to cut out. Mostly as I was doing Santa's voice, and he's very low and very deep and quite jolly. I was going for a bit of a Brian Blessed, but quieter. So, I thought this would be a good opportunity for me to tell you what presents each of the party got. For our slightly pyromanic sorceress, Lenara, she was handed the gauntlets of the Ifrit. These black metal gauntlets, when attuned and when worn, weigh nothing to her. But they boost her so that when she wants to use her fire spells, which she's pretty well known for, it will increase her rolls by 2 every single dice she rolls. So she rolls 5d6, that's an extra 10 damage automatically because her fire is boosted, and as these things glow red hot, all of the cracks in the armor glow red, kind of like Daedric gauntlets. And everything within 5 feet of her takes 5 fire damage, but not her, she's protected. She was obviously quite thrilled to receive these from St. Nick, even though a lot of Lenara's arguing almost had her moved to the naughty list. For Amara, our human bard who focuses her spellcasting not on music but on words, she received the Tome of the Grandmaster. This book came from the man who raised her. It came from the man who runs the Neverwinter Library. And within it, it contains spells. Normally when you receive a spell book, you can learn how to cast certain spells. This didn't teach her any new spells. What it did do is give her access to 3 new spells that she doesn't need to cast. The book can cast for her. By reading certain words of power, she manages to create a spell-like ability. By saying, "A true friend is worth more than 1,000 relatives," she can cast a charm person spell. By turning around and saying, "Well, the strength of our party comes from the integrity of our home," she creates an effect very similar to Leomund's tiny hut, giving the party a way to rest easy for the night. And they can see out, nothing can see in, they are safe. And finally, and probably most dramatically, if she utters the words, "From the smallest of sparks can spring the mightiest of flames," she casts a wall of fire. Something that, at her current level, she couldn't actually even manage. She doesn't have 4th level spells yet. It also allows her to feel a lot closer to the Grandmaster that raised her. Once she's cast all 3 of these spells, she can't use them again until after the end of a long rest. Which is absolutely fine, because it means she's not casting these spells all the time. For our Blood Hunter, Theron. Blood Hunter being a custom class that was created by Matthew Mercer of Critical Role. Based very heavily on The Witcher. Am I allowed to say that? I mean, it's true. The Blood Hunter can, using their own blood, wash their blades in different kinds of energy. It could create lightning damage or thunder damage, fire damage, radiant damage. But to do so, they have to cut themselves and bleed on the blades, which actually drains their HP. Theron was given the Amulet of Blood Armor. Whenever he does cast a Blood Rite, spilling his blood on his own blades, he may choose to either gain 1 AC until his next long rest, which means he's harder to hit, or he can gain 1d4 plus his Blood Hunter level in temporary hit points until he has a long rest, going some way to alleviate the damage he does to himself in order to protect others. And finally, for our secretly Aasimar monk, Ray, she received the Ring of Kai Bullet. Whenever monks channel their energy, it's called Kai. It's kind of like the energy that they create in Dragon Ball. Whenever she creates an unarmed strike, one of the 5 gems in the ring begins to glow. Once all 5 are successfully glowing, meaning she has to land 5 unarmed strikes, she may then release the stored energy in essentially a Hadouken. The way she does that is to cast a chromatic orb using an unarmed strike instead of a ringed spell attack. So she strike, 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 gathers energy and fires! And that's the last of the presents. Although St. Nicholas did quite happily rescue all the children that Krampus took and take them back to where they belonged. With the party successfully rescuing the children and defeating Krampus for another year, they have managed to get themselves fully pardoned in Vallaki, which means they may come and go again. Quite important, as some of their most steadfast allies dwell within Vallaki. And that's it for this. I very much hope to see you all back on the 9th of January for our next Dungeons & Dragons stream, where we will be continuing Curse of Strahd. There is also going to be a Horde of the Dragon Queen game starting, which I'm quite excited about. But in the meantime, there will be several instances where I will be on here playing games, maybe answering questions, having a lovely little chat with you, just like this. And I'll be streaming things like potentially Final Fantasy 15, if I can figure out how to get my PS4 to stream. I've heard it's easy. Haven't looked into it yet. Final Fantasy 15 is a potential. I play a lot of Overwatch, but I know there's a lot of people streaming Overwatch. If you'd like to come see me play Overwatch badly, you're always welcome to tune in. I will put a thing up on the Chance Encounters Facebook group. If you decide to come and pop in, I will let you know when. But for now, I think that's where I'm going to end. And thank you for sticking with us last night. Sorry about the audio issues, and thank you for watching this. Have a fantastic time.